since he crossed the personal line, he's not gonna have my respect. He's not gonna have my team's respect. All I'm gonna need is 2 minutes in the octagon with you. Then I'm gonna put you to sleep in front of your whole family, your country, in front of everyone. My name is Ilia Topuria. I'm a professional athlete. That I'm the best. I'm the best fighter in the world.
Look, today we're unpacking a story that literally shook the combat sports world to its core. We're talking about one fight. Honestly, that is all it took. A fighter who hadn't just beaten guys, but absolutely dismantled them. A champion the entire MMA world figured was going to dominate the division for years to come, suddenly found himself staring up from the canvas. In a matter of seconds, everything he had painstakingly built just started slipping away. But you know what's crazy? The physical knockout wasn't actually the biggest shock of this whole story. Because what happened just days later left fans, fighters, and even the most connected UFC insiders absolutely stunned. Did Ilia Topuria really just walk away from the sport after one single defeat?
Go for the win. And I think that was the choice he had to make because it was going to continue to get worse. I beat his ass in the first round. Like, it might have been close on the scorecards. I absolutely took the first round, but the amount of damage that I inflicted in the first round set up the rest of the fight.
I mean, most fighters come back swinging after their first loss, right? Some demand an immediate rematch, while others maybe step away for a bit to regroup before jumping back in. But Topuria's reaction? It was completely unprecedented. No one saw it coming. We're going to investigate this mystery today, because this story isn't really just about losing a fistfight. It's about what happens when a champion loses the very identity he spent his entire life creating.
Section 1. The price of invincibility and exploring the mindset of a champion.
Okay, let's dive right into this. For years, Topuria looked completely untouchable. Every single time he stepped into that octagon, he fought with this aura, right? The confidence of a guy who genuinely believed defeat was scientifically impossible for him. And hey, why wouldn't he? He kept flat out destroying elite fighters, and every single win just amplified his reputation. This absolute belief of "I am the best," well, it became the core of his entire brand. But there is a massive hidden danger here. When success comes that consistently, confidence can slowly, quietly mutate into certainty. It's like a dangerous confirmation bias where you only see your own invulnerability. And when you operate with that kind of absolute certainty, it leaves zero room for doubt or for adapting when things suddenly go sideways.
You know, sometimes your biggest opponent isn't actually the guy standing across the cage. It's the massive invisible expectations you've built up for yourself. And fight week this time around, it felt entirely different. The atmosphere wasn't just competitive anymore. It had gotten deeply, deeply personal. Every interview piled on the pressure, and every single headline just magnified the rivalry. You had social media completely flooded with fans predicting an early finish. Everything, I mean everything, pointed toward another dominant highlight reel performance. Analysts, fans, even other pro fighters. Literally nobody expected him to lose. He was walking out there carrying the crushing weight of his own myth.
So, I want you to pause for a second and think about this paradox. Do undefeated fighters actually get mentally stronger with every win? Or do these long winning streaks actually make them underestimate the danger? Keep that question in the back of your mind, because what goes down next inside the cage might completely flip your answer.
Section 2. Anatomy of a mistake. Let's break down the fight itself. The moment the bell rang, this brilliantly illustrates the crazy clash in mentalities. Topuria did exactly what everyone on Earth expected him to do. He came marching forward immediately, took the center of the cage, and started hunting for that knockout with super aggressive pressure. Every punch had that supreme, unbreakable confidence behind it. But his opponent? He had a completely different agenda. He wasn't there to prove he was the better brawler. He wasn't desperately chasing a finish or trying to pop the crowd. He was just waiting. He was collecting data, picking up on little habits, and patiently solving the puzzle right in front of him. Let's walk through the actual micro moments of how this trap was set. Step 1. Topuria takes the center. He's looking sharp, moving well, totally in control. Step 2. As the fight progresses, Topuria dials up the aggression. His combos get longer, his shots get a lot heavier. His own confidence is actually pushing him to take bigger and bigger risks. Step 3. The opponent never panics, not once. He just takes a half step back, makes tiny adjustments, and quietly downloads the patterns. And then, Step 4. Topuria steps in with that same explosive pressure, absolutely convinced he's closing in on the finish, only to walk directly into a perfectly, and I mean perfectly, timed counter. The trap snapped shut.
And that brings us to this incredible reality of the fight game. Sometimes championship fights aren't decided by power, they are decided by patience. In that split second, the counter landed flush. The contrast was just staggering, really. You have the violent, explosive action of Topuria's attack, crashing headfirst into the cold, calculating quietness of his opponent's waiting strategy. The thousands of fans who had literally just been roaring the roof off the arena, they instantly fell into a dead, shocked silence. Topuria stumbled. For the first time in a very, very long time, the untouchable champion actually looked vulnerable. His own confidence had hidden the danger, and someone else had been quietly pulling the strings all along.
Section 3. The shocking aftermath and the totally unexpected reaction.
Now, what's really interesting about this is how Topuria completely deviated from the typical revenge narrative we've all come to expect. Losing hurts, every fighter knows that. But just when the fans were bracing for a furious demand for a rematch or, some bloodthirsty promise of revenge, Topuria shocked the entire globe. Reports started leaking out that he was actually ready to just walk away from the UFC entirely. No way, right?
I mean, within hours, social media was just on fire. YouTube, Instagram, X, Reddit, they all absolutely exploded with this debate. Was it just a raw, emotional reaction to a really devastating loss? Did the guy just need some time away from the sport to clear his head? Even former fighters were chiming in. Some were saying, hey, respect to him, it takes massive courage to walk away on your own terms, while others were arguing that a true champion never ever leaves after just one setback. The Furies were flying everywhere, but ultimately, only Topuria knew the real truth.
Section 4. When identity shatters. The psychological toll. Try to imagine spending your entire life proving to the world, and honestly proving to yourself, that you are unbeatable. And then, in one single night, the whole illusion shatters. You're dealing with a severe case of identity fusion, where your entire sense of self is glued to being the undefeated champion. Suddenly, you're forced to answer a question you've never, ever had to face before. Who are you when you're no longer undefeated? So the crucial point is, this internal battle, the one happening far away from the cameras, is often way harder for these elite athletes than any physical fight inside a cage. Consider the brutal psychological impact of a loss like this. It's not just a little red mark on your professional record. It's losing the physical belts. It's losing the glowing headlines that used to praise your every single move. It is losing that supreme, weaponized confidence that you carried to the cage. And maybe worst of all, it's losing the public image of being the sport's untouchable golden future. Defeat drastically alters how the world sees you, for sure. But far more devastatingly, it alters how you see yourself. Section 5. The ultimate comeback. Let's move to Antrium and see how this builds into two possible futures.
History shows us that while, some champions become legends simply by never losing, many of the absolute greatest legends are remembered for how they responded to a crushing defeat. Right now, Topuria has two dramatically different paths sitting right in front of him. Path 1, walking away. If he truly never fights again, people are going to remember an incredible, explosive champion who walked out the door at the absolute peak of his fame. But then there's path 2, the comeback. If he decides to return, this bitter, shocking defeat could just be the opening chapter of the greatest comeback story in modern MMA. It's a chance to rebuild and reveal a version of himself that the world has literally never seen before.
Which brings us to the end of our explainer today, and I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. Should a fighter retire after their first major defeat just to preserve their health and their legacy? Or should they always dig deep and fight for one last comeback? Because defeat doesn't always end a career, guys. Sometimes it completely redefines it. Let that question sit with you as you think about the incredible mental toll of combat sports. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep questioning what it truly takes to be a champion.